To produce a report in DoubleClick for Publishers, you must start by building a query. Before we build a query from scratch, though, let's explore the System Queries library. Here you'll find a list of predefined query options provided by Google. For a quick overview of what any of the system queries entail, hover over the name of the query to be shown a card with some high-level details, including date range, dimensions, and metrics. Now you can run a system query exactly how it's configured, or make adjustments so it's more relevant for your needs. To modify a system query, start by creating a copy of the query. This will make the query available in the Owned by Me section of the Queries subtab. From there, click into the query to make any relevant adjustments, which might include giving the query a new name. Alternatively, you can build a new query from scratch. For this training, let's build a performance report on one of our advertisers, Comfort Airlines. We'll create a query that shows their total network impressions over the past 7 days. Let's click the New Query button to begin. First, you have the option to give a new query a name. If you need a report for only this moment in time, then it's okay to leave this name field blank. However, if you plan on saving this query to produce more reports in the future, then be sure to add a specific name so you don't confuse this query with any other query you've saved in your network. Let's call this query Comfort Airlines Network Performance. Next, we need to select the report type. Options include historical, ad exchange historical, and future sell-through, among others. Now our report needs to look at past impression data, so let's select the DFP historical report option. For more information on the different report types, please refer to Publisher University or the Help Center. We need to select a date range for this report, from which there are 2 categories to choose from: dynamic and fixed. Dynamic options allow you to produce a rolling report of data from the date on which the report gets run. So, for example, you could configure the report to display data from yesterday, the last 7 days, for the last 30 days, and so on. Alternatively, a fixed date range will present a snapshot of a specific moment in time between 2 dates that you select, like August 10th to August 11th, 2017. For our report, let's select the last 7 days option from the dynamic list. Moving on, when building a query, filters help narrow down the data so that only the most relevant information is displayed. You can use filters to optionally include or exclude specific pieces of data in your report. For example, if you're only concerned with seeing data from a specific advertiser, as we are in this example, add a new filter that filters by advertiser. Then choose Is Any Of, and then add the advertiser's name, like Comfort Airlines. This will ensure that only the data from the specific advertiser is included in your report. Alternatively, if you want to make sure certain information is excluded from your report, like any data coming from the United States, for example, you can add the following filter. Country name is none of United States. There is an extensive list of filter options, and we recommend that you take some time to explore the list. Now that you know how filters can narrow down a dataset, you can use dimensions to help break down the report into groups so that the data displayed in a report can be easily read and interpreted. Dimension categories are listed on the left, and even include a recently used group to help you find your most relevant dimensions. To add a dimension to the query, simply click on the name. Adding multiple dimensions will subcategorize your report. For example, if you were to add demand channel, followed by date, this means your report would be broken down first by demand channel, and then the data would be presented daily for each channel. If your list of dimensions is out of order, you can easily drag and drop with the handle to the left of the dimension label to rearrange. And finally, we need to select which metrics should be displayed in the report. Metrics are the actual data returned in a report, from which there are many options. The metrics you see on this screen will depend on which features you have enabled in your network. We recommend using only the metrics you need to get the data efficiently, as increasing the complexity of a query will increase the amount of time necessary to run a report. You'll notice that some metrics are grayed out and unavailable for selection. Simply hover your cursor over the exclamation point, and a box will appear to indicate which dimensions the selected metric is conflicting with, or which dimension is required for the metric to be used. Certain combinations of metrics might not be available with your query. However, we're always working to ensure metrics that are vital to your business are available when you need them. For this example, let's select the Total Impressions metric. All right, so we've named our query, picked the query type, chosen a date range, and added filters, dimensions, and metrics. Stay tuned to our next video where we cover the steps to schedule and run a query to produce a report. Thanks for watching.